Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And after yesterday's gas and go, today is probably much deeper Sudoku logic required. Knowing the constructor Demono, who is a fantastic constructor, one of the regulars on Discord, and a good advertisement for that, therefore. But his puzzles are fascinating normally, and I'm sure this will be no exception. Quite a few of the puzzles I've done recently, almost no given digits and just a few scattered markings in the grid. So we'll get to that in a moment. Let's mention Patreon, of course, and our November reward, which is the Paint by Numbers Institute puzzle pack. We're getting quite a few answers into that. Well done. People have used their weekend to get through it. Congratulations to you. And there will be a prize on the 20th, and thanks to Panthera and the Asylum for creating it. Also on Patreon, Simon's Solve of Zeta Math's Incredible Two Truths and a Lie, which I think is a companion piece to the puzzle he's done today. So I don't know quite whether they were created together, but anyway, fascinating puzzles, both of them. Now, also, we have all our apps, which are worth knowing about with Christmas coming up, as is our merchandise. Thank you for the very kind comments on the goods you've been receiving. They are gratefully acknowledged, and thank you for buying some of our bobbins and knowledge bomb type gear. There is a knowledge bomb from Cracking the Cryptic, and they're all available on the links under the video, the first one of which is to this puzzle, which is called King Gambit by Demono. And the King Gambit title, I think, might be a useful reminder as we go along to the fact there is a King's Move rule. That's one of those rules that has quite a bit of application, and yet I forget it when I'm solving a puzzle with it in. So let's hope that doesn't happen today. Cells separated by a King's Move, like those two, cannot contain the same digit. So a king can move one cell diagonally, basically, is what you need to know for that. So those two couldn't be the same either. Cells with circles, and this is where the meat of the puzzle is, contain the sum of all diagonally adjacent digits. So what I think that means is that this circle is the sum of those four cells. But when it's on the edge, it's summing just two cells. That must be right. So those are the rules. You really don't get much. It's extraordinary that this solves uniquely, but I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Do try it on the link under the video. Yes, just a quick mention. We will be streaming. I think we'll be going back to the Obra Dinn before we return to Baba U. So we'll be streaming the Obra Dinn on Tuesday evening at 10 p.m. So that's coming up. Anyway, let's have a look at this Demono puzzle. Let's get cracking. And that circle means that it's adding 1 and that number. So they're consecutive numbers, I suppose. That's not very useful. My goodness, there's nothing here, is there? I suppose we have to start with the ones that aren't on the edges. So, okay, this, yes, I see. Right, this is adding two cells that can't be a 1. So the minimum value of those is 2 and 3 equals 5. The minimum value of these is 1 and 2 equals 3. So the minimum value for the circle is suddenly 8. And there's only 1 degree of freedom on any of its arms. One of those two must be a 2. Oh, I'm going to do this practice again of pencil marking across boxes, which can confuse me because normally I use the corner marking to be the positions for a number within a box. But now, one of those is a 1. So what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything for these circles, does it? It would mean something if there was a circle in one of those regions. Oh, bother. Ah, but these can't be 1s. So does this circle act exactly the same as that? Yes, it does. They are sister circles. So I'm filling in exactly the same pencil marks, if I get them right here, because I think we've got exactly the same principle. Again, these can't be a 1 because of that 1. So they must add up to at least 5. These must add up to at least 3. This therefore is 8 or 9. Now, what does that do for this? This means... I suppose nothing. Could this still be a 1-2? 1-2 pairs? No, it couldn't, because one of those has to be a 2. In theory, here's a little side note on uniqueness. In many puzzles, you could rule out that group of cells as being 1-2 pairs because of uniqueness. I wouldn't use this in a puzzle, but you could, because if they were a group of 1-2 cells, then at the end of the puzzle they'd be reversible and there'd be a second solution, which the constructor wouldn't have allowed. However, in a King's Move puzzle, you could have a 2 here, and that would break it up, for instance. But anyway, that is in irrelevance to this. What I did work out a moment ago was that this can't be a set of 1-2 pairs, or you'll never get a 2 into those cells, because these would use up the 2s for rows, for columns 7 and 9. So they must add up to at least 7. I don't know that we can do more than that marking at the moment. That's frustrating. Ah, this circle's interesting, because these can't be 1 or 2. Oh, they can't be a 3-4 pair either. Yeah, that's brilliant. Right, this is the way in. I've got it. Bingo. Okay, this pair of cells add up to that one by the rule. Now, what I'm saying is they can't involve a 1, they can't involve a 2, which is in one of those 2 cells, or indeed one of those. But they also can't be a 3-4 pair, which would be the next minimum pairing, because then you'd get 4 cells which all had to contain 2, 3, or 4, and that's impossible. So these are bigger than a sum of 3 and 4. So that is 8 or 9, which is giving us a pair. Let me just fill in the possibilities here. I think it could be any pair from those that add up to 8 or 9. But 8-9 pair, this is a 7. And now we know it is surrounded by a 1-2 on one side and a 1-3 on the other. That applies both to the rows and the columns, weirdly. So there's a 1 X-wing, definitely. Oh, it doesn't resolve it. And it doesn't resolve this one at all. Oh, bother. I thought this was going to give us a bit more. Right, but... Oh, what can this be? These... I don't know. I suppose it could be anything from 5 upwards. That one can't be a 7, but this could be a 2-3 pair as far as I can see. We've sort of got... Okay, this is 8 or 9. If that was 1-3... Ah! All of these cells add up to 17 because they are the totals of these 2 circles. What does that mean? Oh, look, if this is a 9, then that's an 8, and these are all minimum. And in fact, that would be a 2-3 pair, that would be a 1-2 pair, that would have to be a 4-5 pair. If that's an 8, this is a 3-5 pair, so there's always a 5 there. There's never a 6. That's a 2-3-4-5 quad in both the row and the box. This is a naked single now. That's a 2-3-4-5 quad. This cell, row 3, column 8, can also see 1, 7 and an 8-9 pair. So that is a 6. These are from, that's a 7-8-9 triple at the top. This, because of that circle, becomes 6, 7 or 8. There's definitely a 5 there. Oh, look, this can't be 5 or 6 anymore, given that's 6. This is 2 or 3. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple. 8, 9, 7 are a triple. 4, 5, 6 become a triple here. This is getting weirder and weirder somehow now. This can't be 2, 3 anymore, so it can't be a 5. In fact, these cells are all from 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, I almost had another thought about this. If this is 8, then these are 1, 2, and 2, 3. But if this is 8, this is a 3, 5 pair. I can't see how that resolves. That doesn't get anything done at all. Oh, now I tell you what, I've totally left out of account. I don't know if it matters, but the king's move has passed me by. Look, 6 is looking at that cell, so that's not a 6. So there's a 6 in one of those two. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to put a 6 up there. Now this is, yeah, okay. Look, this cell can't be 1, 2, or 3. So that could be 4 or 5. This, which also can't be a 1, can't be a 3 now either, because even if you added a 4 there, 3 there, you'd need 2 different numbers here. So that's a 2. And this gets us done. That makes this a 1, 3 pair. That makes this a 1, 2 pair to add up to 7. That gives us a 3 here. Takes 3 out of all of those cells. No, I've written something wrong. This is meant to be a 1, 2 pair. That's what I said. There we go. Now, that's a 1, 2 pair. Oh, but this can still be 2, 3 or 2, 4. I don't know which way round that's meant to be. But let's not forget the king's move again, because it was useful. Now, this can't be 6 or 7. We know it's 8 or 9. Oh, hang on. With this being a 2, 4, 1 and 2 is the minimum, and that's already 9. Bingo. 9 there, 4 there, 2 there. Ah, this is all unwinding. 3, that's a 1. This can't be a 3. This can't be a 2, but there has to be a 2 here, so it's there. I still don't know whether this is 3 or 4 and whether this is 8 or 9 as a consequence. That can't be a 3. Oh, that's become a 9. That circle is actually more useful than this much more busy circle. So 9 there, 8 there, 9 there. This is a 4, 5 pair. We get a 3 here. It's all adding up. Yes, I nearly got the sum wrong. Those can't have a 9 in. In fact, that means this can't be an 8. This 4, 5 pair over here has reduced this to a 2, 3 pair, which doesn't resolve whether that's 1, 2 or 1, 3, but it does make this a 5. Let's just fill in the cells where I have identified how the numbers are made up. Colour them. I haven't done it with that. One of those has to be a 7. I don't think that's useful. Haven't looked at this. Still doesn't look helpful. What about this? Can't be a 9. Oh, it's adding these two. So it can't be 8 either. It is either 6 or 7 and involves a 2. And either 4 or 5. Now, this can't be a 2 either because of the 2 we placed. So we know where 2 is. It's there. That will resolve this. That will be the same as that and that because of the king's move rule. Trying to keep a handle on the king's move. It's clearly important and I am so prone to forget. Now, what else can we do? Still, I mean, we filled bits of the grid and yet it's hard to imagine. Oh, that's a 4, 5 pair, so that's a 6. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's hard to imagine. What I was going to say is it's very hard to imagine that this solves uniquely still. It just seems so many empty areas of grid and so much possibility. 6 is in one of those. That is 6, 7, or 8. These are from 7, 8, or 9, and definitely include a 9. Right, what can I use? 2. This 2 is in a useful king's move position. Oh, and so is that. They are ruling out all of those cells by king's move, I think. Or by Sudoku or king's move. So that's where 2 goes. That makes that a 3 and that a 2. This can't be a 2. There's got to be a 1 here, so it is a 1, and that's an 8. And I can colour that. That is done as well now. Wow, this is so clever. Right, there's got to be a 3 up there somewhere. 2, lots of 2s looking into box 2, so I can place that. Then we've got remaining 2s in a sort of X-wing down there that aren't touched by king's moves. We're going to get a 1 there somewhere. Now this 1 is in this very useful position in the middle of a box edge. So that's ruling out all those cells. That 1 is ruling out those 2, and we can place 1 in the box, and therefore 3 as well. So that's a 4, 6 pair. That makes this a 7. That sees that by king's move. Actually, it's part of its circle as well. So we get a 7 up here. That's put a 6 here, which sorts that out as a 4. That's done all the circles except 1. We've just got that little one left to go. That can't be a 6. In fact, that is an 8. Let's go further. That is now a 7, 9 pair. Right. 4 is looking at that cell. So these are all resolved now. Lots of columns 7, 8, and 9 done. That can't be a 7. Right. Let's have a look in this box. Where does 8 go? Obviously there. We've got a 1. That is a naked single 1 because it sees that 5 by the king's move. We've got a 4, 7 pair there. We've got a 6, 9 pair here. 2, 4, 8, 9. That is 5 or 6. It sees that 3 by the king's move. This must see a 5 in one of those positions. Yeah, this is when king's move puzzles get really weird. When you suddenly see relationships. For instance, this can't be a 7 because 7 must be in one of those cells. I can't make that work into a triple as far as I can see, so that didn't actually yield anything. 2, 7, 1, 9. Right, 4 and 3 are unable to be in those cells. So they're a pair down here, which is just weird. This can't be 6. So we know where 6 goes in the column now because of that 3, 4 pair. That must be the 6. And they can't have a 6 in. Now we know where 5 is in the row. It still feels so unintuitive to find these relationships when we go through this sort of thing. Anyway, it's good fun though. Now, 4 is looking up at the top. So one of these is a 6. So does that give us an entree to this? Yes, it does. This cannot be a 6 because that pair has to either be 5, 1 or 2, 4. It can't be a 5, 1 because of that. And this cell can't be a 2, 4 because of that pair. So that's not 6. 6 is placed here. And that doesn't do much else for 6s actually. 8. So this is 5, 7 or 9. It can't be a 1. Now, how would this work? If it was a 5... Oh no, this This can't be 2, 3, or 4, or 8, or 6. So that is 1. Well, it can't be 9 because it's being added into whatever's here. So they're both odd. That's quite interesting. That makes this even, and it can't be 8 or 6. So it's 2 or 4. If it was a 4, it could be with a 1 or a 5 here. If it's a 2, it's with a 5 or a 7 here. I was just going to work out if one of... Oh, this can't be a 5, sorry. So hang on, now this can't be a 7. It's either 4 plus 1 equals 5 or 2 plus 7 equals 9. Yeah, I was going to work out if I could rule out 5 from those. I don't think I can, but I have noticed a 5-9 pair now. Right, so I have 1, 8 and 7 to place. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at this cell. I was going to fill in 7 and 8 as possibilities because it sees a 1. But actually, where does the 7 go in row 4? It goes in one of those two positions, and they both see this by king's move, so it can't be a 7. So that's an 8, and we can fill in 1 and 7, and that tells us which way round this is going. 1, 4 adds up to 5. Might as well colour it to finish off the colouring. And I think we're finishing now. I really do. Oh, brilliant puzzle. I mean, I don't think this is easy, but it is very, very, very clever. And it has come together a little more quickly than I was expecting, I think. 3 and 4 there. We've got 1, 6, 3 are write-ins. 8 and 2. This has fixed the 2 X-wing that we were waiting for. 8 and 4. 4 and 7. 6, 7 and 9 here. Well, I know the middle one. Oh, now I'm going to get left with, well, there must, yeah, this is the sort of deadly pattern I was talking about earlier that it looks like you end up with, but there must be a king's move. I think there's 2 actually. 9 is looking at that cell, 7 is looking at that one, and we can just use that to finish it all off. Brilliant puzzle. That's so clever. Oh, hang on. I really hope this is me mistyping something. I can't put a 6 in there. Let's go back a bit. What have I done wrong here? 6, 7 and 9. 6, 7 and 9. 9, 7, 6, 7. Hopefully I just mistyped 1 digit in these last few after talking excitedly over the finish. If I put a 9 here, yeah, okay. Whew. Don't think I've broken the king's move. Let's just highlight all the digits individually. 1s, don't break it. 2s, don't break it. 3s, no. 4s, I'm just looking for touching digits here and I'm not finding any. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, beautiful. That's a really clever puzzle by Demono. I mean, absolutely entertaining that, what is it, 10 circles and 1 given 1. And that rule set can disambiguate into a really pretty Sudoku puzzle. Lovely stuff. As always, entertained by the brilliance of these constructors. I love it. Thank you so much for watching us, as always, and hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.